Hoosiers. Root against teams, root for teams. I mean, that's the thing in Big 12. This could be a chaotic day.
Absolutely.
Holy war going on.
Yes.
Tech has to go to a crazy place. They got to play everybody's. I mean, they're making Tech some kind of road favorite, big road favorite. I would be so nervous if I were Texas Tech. Okay, I still hear that cat, and it's bothering me. All right, Faith.
Oh, goodness. No, and Baron Morton is out for Tech, so they have their freshman
Will
quarterback making
Hammond.
his start.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal. Just lots of good, like you said, being able to start Baylor football, but then also watch. But thank you for joining us this morning. Make sure you stay tuned and have much more to talk about.
you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform
at your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
At Camp Fimfo Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
Welcome back to the Green and Gold Game Day Show. I'm Faith Lynch, here with the one and only Matt Mosley. It's your time to shine, Matt.
Well, okay. I mean, I'm happy to do it. Is it?
It is Mosley's Mind Time.
Oh, man. Oh, brought to us by Brazos Landing, home of the Bang Bang Shrimp, the chicken fried steak. It is an unbelievable place. And
no, I was sad I wasn't able to join y'all after the what game was it? When we were home, you and Scotty went, and I had the alumni
and I
game.
and Jackson, we went over there and had a wonderful time. The Lindsay family, their incredible host. Scotty just said, "I'll take one of everything." I mean, the man loves a good appetizer. I like to see Scotty on camera, but today he's just I'm behind the scenes, Matt. He's a producer, production only today. The Log Cabin Village is where we are, and here in Fort Worth, Texas, we are just about half mile away from the TCU campus, and we are not that far from kickoff. Faith and I will be racing over there. Kevin Hall, our technical director, will be racing over there. I hope Davis Wilson will be joining me, Corey Dickman, the whole crowd, Scotty Swingler, and we'll be making our way over to a place that the Bears have not always fared well. And Baylor fans get kind of mad at me when I bring that up, but it's just the truth. Like, I just have so many miserable memories. One of them was 2015 here. And these things stay on Mosley's mind, since this is the Mosley's Mind brought to you by the Brazos Landing. And that was cold and rainy and wet. Scotty was here. Corey Dickman was probably here. It just was messy and awful, and I admit that I watched the second half from the Omni Sports Bar, and I thought I could, retreat and get away from the TCU fans and that atmosphere, and they were rougher in that bar than they were at the stadium.
Oh,
I mean, that was not a fun place. That was like the height of this rivalry, be it like the so-called hatred or whatever. I mean, I got great TCU friends. I got people even here on this set that have ties to TCU. But I couldn't help but think this week in Mosley's Mind, I talked to Gary Patterson, and we'll have him on with us here in a little while. I talked to Art Briles the other day, and I could not believe that Gary, they have never really cared for each other. That fed this rivalry. The two fan bases took their lead off those coaches. And the other day, Gary told me something about Art that was just a really neat moment. And he said something like, he has an unbelievable football mind, and he changed the game. And I reached out to Art. I said, look, now Gary's probably mad at me for doing this. I said, look what Gary said about you. And Art was so, like, it really impacted him. And he kind of had a moment, and he's like, that's awesome. He's like, the respect is mutual.
Yeah.
So in Mosley's mind today, I want to talk about bringing these two men back together.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Stoking a friendship that we never knew had a chance.
Oh, wow.
No, but when they entered the conference circa 2012. And by the way, Texas didn't want them in. Just to give you a little history, Faith. DeLoss Dodds, the Texas, he's like, we could do 8. We could have 8 because it's more money for us.
Yeah.
I mean, who would have thought the University of Texas would take that tack, and be like, it's more. We don't need these other players. And somebody finally said, we need TCU and we need West Virginia. We need to have at least 10 games. And here comes TCU. And what Baylor and TCU did, 13, 14, 15, TCU kind of kept going. Baylor had the scandal hit in 2016. But it was 2 private schools, similar enrollments. Baylor's a little more, especially these days. Baylor has like 20,000. I mean, we've
grown a lot.
Yeah. Was that your group that kind of did that?
Probably.
Okay.
I mean, they've opened it up a little bit.
Yeah. But it's been passed down, and I was even thinking about you, and you'll talk about it in your Faith in the Field, but you having been a collegiate athlete like myself. No, but you having played, you came from a Baylor family. In fact, I found out recently your grandfather was like fraternity brothers with my dad.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. They're trying to get us to speak, by the way, at an upcoming event, and I haven't given them your number yet.
Oh, goodness. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. I can't. Okay, it's a Friday night. I've got things, but I think, and you may have volleyball that night. But anyway, our ties go so deep to this rivalry, and I just think TCU people never truly got over being left out, and but that's what made the Gary Patterson thing crazy, is that they were doing it while out in the wilderness. Dennis Franchione, and then Gary did it while they were like in the WAC and then the Mountain West, and they were getting bounced around, and then they became dominant in that Mountain West, and they made that conference better. And then they made the Big 12 better. And I think it made Baylor and TCU just, for when Texas was in that wilderness from 2010 for about 14 years, boy, Baylor and TCU, some of the success they had made them incredibly uncomfortable. But it was great for the conference. They didn't realize it at the time. I don't think Texas looked at it that way. But the TCU folks didn't. They had a hard time getting past the fact that Baylor just happened to be, circa 1996, like incredibly well politically connected.
Yeah.
And we had the governor, Ann Richards, was from Baylor. Bob Bullock, the lieutenant governor. We were loaded in the state senate. Like, if this thing happened right now, we might not. I don't think the Bears the Aggies kind of make all the rules, and the Longhorns and the Bears are not quite. We got a few, but not. Back then, they were swinging a big stick. And so TCU was, they were very upset about it. And to this day, that's kind of what fueled it. And then these coaches took over. And where my mind is today is also, I love that folks are showing up at the Log Cabin Village. The Village opens today at 9:30. And tours will start. You could do some candle making. And in fact, a young woman here, I think, would like to just walk onto the set right now. And I wouldn't have any problem with that. Just bring her right out. I think that this thing could be like like the old. I love to use the 61-58 score for very
yeah.
obvious reasons.
That was my parents' Halloween costume one year.
They went as
61-58. They went as the score of the TCU game. I mean, you can't ask for a better Halloween costume than that.
Yeah. That's a good one. I like that. We went as, well, back when you could do this, let's see. Meredith one time was Kim Mulkey.
Oh, my goodness.
And I was Art.
That's awesome.
Again, during better times for both.
What a combo now. Could you imagine?
And I had the headset. I had the coach's headset. And I had a lot.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then somebody came as me. Anyway, it was an interesting time. But I just think, and we'll talk about this more maybe in Faith in the Field. We'll talk about whatever you want to talk about in Faith in the Field. But the crossover of these two schools right now, isn't that amazing to look at these coaching staffs? And you see Baylor with a secondary coach, Paul Gonzalez. You see Jared Anderson, the tight ends coach. You see even support staff members. You see over at today, we'll look over at TCU and see Kaz Kazadi. I mean, this is an intimidating. This guy just struck a. It was good for Baylor to have him over there back in the day because he was a great strength and conditioning coach. He was a very intimidating guy. And in some of those post-game sessions where things would get ugly, I can't help but think of this series and think of some of the post-games where Orion Stewart, the great Baylor safety, Ahmad Dixon, the great safety from Midway, and there would the game and some of the contentious behavior would last until after the game. Yeah. And then Gary, Gary and I are now good friends. But Gary Patterson had a way of always, after the game, somebody was always coming up to Gary. So-and-so did this or so-and-so said this. And so then that would spark even more post-game commentary. Yeah.
And don't forget about Kendall Briles is currently on staff TCU.
Yes,
quarterback coach
there's a ton. Yeah,
Josh
the
Hoover
son of Art.
Yes.
There's a chance Art could be here. Today. And I saw him recently in a bunch of TCU gear. And that's just it's a very crazy thing to see. But it's what happens. And but man, this is going to be fun today.
Yeah,
and
very exciting.
I think very high scoring. So I think as we I like to extend anytime I have a chance to extend Mosley's mind. I just take a literary license, and I do that. And I would say you brought up Kendall, and I think an interesting thing to think about is like what the TCU offense looks like. Yeah. Does it look like Art's old offenses? Some of it.
I agree.
There's some things they do with their receivers that are similar. There's some things they change up. Art loved to have the receivers like incredibly far apart, and he had what you call these choice routes, and and that was how Tevin or Godley, Goodley, anyway, and some of those. And Corey Coleman, I was just in my mind. I'm like, that Godley doesn't sound right. I think there were two O's there. And Katie Cannon, and they just had incredible. And so they don't do it as much now. What Art tried to do was he would go horizontal. He liked to get the ball out fast. And if you were 5 yards off a wide receiver, there was a check with me, and he was going to that sideline, and they used to kill Oklahoma up and down the sideline. And the Stoops brothers and Venables and whoever was over there was screaming at those cornerbacks. And I have great memories of that. Baylor just racing down the field on Oklahoma. So glad I could do some Mosley's mind for you there.
Setting up the history lesson a little bit. And it's important. I think that's why this game means so much to Baylor people, to TCU people. There's so much rich history there that it's important to people. So we'll continue to talk about it. Happy to be out here, enjoying the weather. It's finally fall in Texas. Make sure you stick with us, and we have a lot more content of Baylor TCU.
When Central National Bank decided to partner with Baylor women's basketball, we didn't know exactly what that partnership would look like.
What brings you into the bank today?
For the last couple of months, I've been noticing a charge on my account, and I would like to block it.
I see. So you have a charge,
Yes?
and you'd like to block it?
Yes.
I think you should take the charge.
What?
Yeah, I definitely think you should take the charge.
I don't think you understand.
Sometimes you just have to take one for the team.
Is there a manager available?
We love that Coach Colin is all about the team. Once we get the vocabulary down, the sky's the limit.
Central National Bank, proud partner of Baylor Athletics and Baylor Women's Basketball.
I have Mac Rhodes, director of Baylor Athletics, on the phone. Mac, can you tell Peggy why she should take the charge?
Of course she should take the charge. Wait, are you at the bank again? And who is Peggy?
Falconberry Construction is now Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath. Check out gathercoremodeling.com. Thanks so much for sponsoring Green and Gold Game Day.
Welcome to a special edition of the Doomsday podcast, coming to you from the Star in the players' meeting room with defensive coordinator Matt Eberflus.
You now have two responsibilities this year that you didn't have last year, and that's being a first-time head coach and calling plays for Dak Prescott for the first time. But now we're doing something that we do annually. We get Stephen Jones's perspective on this football team and how it was built and what expectations should be.
Drive into fall at Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Waco. Huge savings and the best selection in Central Texas. From powerful Ram trucks, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, to adventure-ready Jeeps and stylish new Dodges, we've got the right ride for you. Upgrading, downsizing, or buying your very first vehicle, Allen Samuels has you covered with friendly service and deals that make driving fun. Don't miss the Drive into Fall event, only at Allen Samuels.
Come by, let's be friends.
.365 Sports.
Welcome back, KWTX. I just love that intro every single time.
Yeah.
It just gets me so fired up. But so happy to be here this morning. Thank you to KWTX for continuing to support us, love on us well. It's always fun to get a different Waco crowd. I've run into a couple of different people that are like, hey, I've seen you on TV.
Yeah.
I was on the treadmill, and I saw you at the gym. So thank you to KWTX for just allowing us to do our job well and be a great partner. It is now time for Faith in the Field. But first, I want to thank Hondo Hat Company. Cole Posey has been amazing, just continuing to come up with awesome hats. Former Baylor baseball player, now at Baylor Law School, has become a good friend. Yeah, some really cool stuff, Matt. I'm a big fan. Scotty loves his hats. He may or may not have one on in the trailer supporting Hondo Hat Company.
The only issue with Scotty supporting hats is that he turns them around backwards, and people that spend a lot of time coming up with great designs would prefer you actually see the front of their hat. So I guarantee you, Scotty is somewhere. I've yet to see him today. Oh, he may have slipped into that break room we were in. Maybe. But yeah, I like Hondo hats.
Hondo Hat.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Great job. Go Cole Posey. Well, faith in the field, and you're gonna tag along with me in this one just because you know so much more rich history of TCU. Been longer.
Say what you're saying. You're so much older.
No.
Yeah.
Just been around a little bit longer. But this is the 3rd year of the Bluebonnet Battle, which I think this was a nice little fun fact. This is the longest standing rivalry in Texas. Which I could have sworn maybe Texas OU was longer, Texas A&M, but longest standing rivalry in Texas is the TCU Baylor game, which is really nice. Was renamed the Bluebonnet Battle about 3 years ago, which brought some controversy to a couple of people. It was just known as the Rivalry, a solid, strong name that people really loved. But they decided, or student government from TCU and Baylor decided to come up with this new name, Bluebonnet Battle, of honoring the state of Texas, where the universities are both located. I mean, I grew up seeing bluebonnets on the side of the road in April, May, and in the state of Texas, you're not allowed to pick the bluebonnets. Did you know? I don't know if you knew this, Matt. In the top of a bluebonnet, there's a little claw. So if you like push open top of a bluebonnet, a little claw likes to stick out. It's called like a cat's claw.
Like a bear claw, though. You could almost say.
Sure, a bear claw hidden inside the bluebonnet.
And I guarantee you, knowing your parents, knowing your family, your brother, y'all did some bluebonnet photos over the years. And
stopping on the side of the road.
Which is never safe. Think about what we used to do. We were on major highways, and we were taking the family.
Your children.
Yeah, let's haul the kids out, and right there on the shoulder of the road. I think that was responsible for a lot of injuries.
Great pictures.
Yeah.
Preston and I in our little matching outfits, but the bluebonnet symbolizes Texas pride and bravery and sacrifice, which I think is very interesting for a flower title. But it is called the Bluebonnet Battle. Lots of opinions on that, but it's just a great tradition between Baylor and TCU of lots of history, deep tradition. Excited to be able to continue that for the 3rd year. But Matt, I don't know. Are you fond of this bluebonnet name?
No.
Okay.
No, I think the Rivalry was just fine, and I think everybody liked it. But I hated that the student government they do a nice job. I hated that they got so much blowback, so I tried to defend them. But I love faith in the field, and I want to expand on this moving forward. But I like that. I like your research as well.
Thank you. Just a little tidbit of knowledge, but thank you for staying with us this morning. KWTX, make sure you stick around. Have a lot more Baylor TCU content coming.
I'm Cole Posey, and I'm a 3rd-generation Baylor Bear. During my time playing baseball at Baylor, I started a hat company called Hondo, which started as meek and humble beginnings, has quickly grown into something more. Over 40,000 hats sold, and in over 100 retail locations nationwide. I love vintage Western hats, but couldn't stand the condition they came in, so I decided to make my own. Vintage style, but with modern aesthetics. Thank you so much for making my dream come true, and for enabling what was once a dream to become a reality. God bless.
Drive in the fall at Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Waco. Huge savings and the best selection in Central Texas. From powerful Ram trucks, Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, to adventure-ready Jeeps and stylish new Dodges, we've got the right ride for you. Upgrading, downsizing, or buying your very first vehicle, Allen Samuels has you covered with friendly service and deals that make driving fun. Don't miss the Drive in the Fall event, only at Allen Samuels.
Come by, let's be friends.
Everyone, hello. Guys, welcome back to Dear Sports. I am so pumped to be back in the podcast world and filming season 2 of Dear Sports. On this podcast, you're going to find stories from former and current athletes about their journey through sports and the impact it has made in their life. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow our Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on all things Dear Sports.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform
at your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
Falconberry Construction is now Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath. Check out gathercoremodeling.com. Thanks so much for sponsoring Green and Gold Game Day.
At Camp Fimfo Waco, we believe fun is more fun outside. We also believe fun is more fun in the pool, by the water park, at your RV, in a cabin, and with the friends and family you love the most. So grab a drink, take a ride, and stay a while. We think you'll discover that fun is more fun outside, too.
365 Sports Green and Gold Game Day show. Welcome back to KWTX, everyone, and sticking with us this morning, moving along through our programming. Get to hear from a special guest soon, which I know Matt is very fond of. Great friendship.
It is, and it's an unexpected friendship, as most of mine are. And, boy, thank you, KWTX. Gosh, this is fun. To be on KWTX, waking up with folks, although most folks are probably up, moving around, but we're getting you ready, and we are not far away from kickoff. We're all going to race over there. We're going to be there for it, and it'll be exciting. And for at least the first half, and maybe out in the parking lot, he doesn't often go back in, but Gary Patterson will be he said by the second half he usually heads on home. From his office, he can see Amon Carter. And he still lives there, but he doesn't enjoy like a wonderful relationship right now they have a new AD and the administration and everything, but they did honor him by putting him in the TCU Hall of Fame recently. And that was a massive ovation, and the crowd. I thought maybe some healing would take place, but Gary likes a little confrontation. And the old TCU AD, who's now the Texas AD, Chris Del Conte, used to tell me that Gary would literally try to think of things in the offseason to get mad about and like to have a problem with and all that. And that's what kind of led to, for some reason, Baylor and Art Briles kind of got under his skin. I think Gary got under Art's skin, and that was a back and forth. That was not always the most pleasant of situations, and the fan bases took their cue off those two guys. And you will see something in this, in our visit with Gary. Now, the other day we had him on for about 40 minutes. I don't think we could share that much with you, but you may hear him that fateful moment where he pays Art a compliment, and they were very different, yet both extremely passionate and fascinating people, the two of them. So these two coaches are fascinating, Dave Aranda and Sonny Dykes. And one is a good old boy, son of Spike Dykes, and one of them is a quieter, more introspective, kind of an X's and O's genius, although, by looking at the defense this year, it's hard to tell at times. But this will be fascinating to watch how it plays out today between those two. And Kendall Briles, son of Art, will be over there. All right, we're going to share some of this with you. This is my conversation with Gary Patterson on the Matt Mosley Show.
Isn't it weird to have a TCU Baylor game, whatever this week is? Is it like October 18th? Doesn't that seem strange to you?
Yeah,
for years, the schedulers put it at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, we played earlier, we played late, but I never played much in the middle.
Yeah.
It was always we seemed like we were playing in Waco or they were playing here. It was always somewhere in November because it was always cold, like that overtime game that we had. That was one of the colder days. Evenings I was ever part of, with the rain and the sleet and everything else. So
I don't know why you had to bring that game up.
Well, because we were talking about the weather and we were talking about we played the game.
I'm
Hey,
just
I'm
saying
not-
I
I'm
have
not a-
core
I'm not a
memories of
fan.
that.
I'm not
Yeah.
a fan. I didn't bring it up. Here, you want me to make it even 61-58? Now do you feel better?
A little bit.
I mean,
A
I've
little
been 4
bit.
years out of coaching, so it's now 3 or 4 years. So now it's all
Yeah.
it's I was really taken back by the response in the stadium when winning the TCU Hall of Fame and the banquet.
Yeah.
And you said college. That college Hall of Fame is hard to get into. They only take 2 coaches a year. That's a hard deal, and so we'll see how that all goes out. But I think there is a couple more that I've been called on that will be announced here later on that are not the college Hall of Fame. But so I'm excited about all of them. It's for me, players when the players go in the Hall of Fame, because they were the Warriors, I think it's truly about their efforts. When coaches go in the Hall of Fame, I always think it took a village. You think about all the players. You think about because TCU and I tell people I've been here 25 years that I came here at 37 and I ended at 62. So you have this complete big village. Over 840 players in the 24, 25 years I was here. All the coaches that came through. You think about all the administrators. You think about all the coaches of the other sports. And then you think of all the people in Fort Worth or TCU people that gave money to build all the things we did. I mean, it was a perfect storm. It was a perfect storm of winning and then the fracking underneath Fort Worth, as far as when they started doing that, everywhere else was having a downtime and it was just booming here because of oil and gas. And so
Yeah.
you go to a Rose Bowl, you go to, it's like I was part of 5 mayors, 4 ADs, and 3 chancellors. And the third mayor in 2008, I asked him, I said, why is it that it just seems like Fort Worth and TCU just don't get along? And, when we got done with the conversation, we said we were going to change it and just have, that was in 2008, that next season, we go to the Fiesta Bowl, and then you go to the Rose Bowl, and then, things just really took off. But it took 10 years. I mean, from 98 really till where we're at, really beating Oklahoma and Norman really started the change in 2005. But yeah, it's, I love the rivalry of Baylor and TCU. I still have, I still laugh about the guy when I was down there consulting that he told me after it was the night before the spring game and I went to a NIL dinner. The guy said, he said, I hate you. You've ruined everything that I ever thought. I said, what? He said, well, I had these five different things that I lived by. And one of them was I hated Gary Patterson. Okay. And he said, then I sit you at the table and I can see the players really like you and they respect you and you're a fun guy to talk to. And then you get up, you write music, you sang music. He said, you've ruined my life. He said, now I only have 4 constants in my life instead of 5 constants because he said, I don't think I can hate Gary Patterson anymore. So, I mean, I wasn't exactly high on your totem pole, Matt.
No.
I mean, it's this relationship has come on, a few years down the road.
It took some healing. That's like a lot of my relationships over the years. Most of your old coaches are on the Baylor staff now.
And most of Baylor are on TCU staff. I mean, Kaz is there. I mean, you got Kaz, you got Kendall. I mean, you got Brian Norwood. You had Buckles at one point, and as the core. I mean, you had. It's just they've all switched.
Yeah, isn't like one of our receivers over there, Corey Coleman or somebody?
Yeah, exactly. It's. They wonder why I haven't been in the TCU football up. I mean, they don't allow me in the TCU football office. Now it's like
there's too much.
It's Baylor North. You're just part of the history, the historical part of the game of that series. So, and probably maybe not. I can't go back to Grant Tapp and all that, but probably at that high a level on a national level is maybe that was a short period of time where TCU and Baylor both thought of in the top, 10 in the country, I think. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah. What if y'all were both so great on each side of the ball like you were, like where did you and Art get crossways, or was some of that misunderstood? Because both fan bases in a lot of ways took their lead off you guys. And that fueled an incredible rivalry in a lot of ways. And maybe it already existed, but it really heated up with you and Art because you were at the top of your games. You're playing well above your weight. You're up there with the big boys knocking on the door, making everybody uncomfortable. The Ohio States of the world. Are Baylor or TCU going to get in? But I'm just curious, like, when did y'all cross paths, and why did you guys not? Why was it just because the schools disliked each other so much? I wonder where y'all got crossways.
Well, because anything you say, there's going to be two different opinions. I would say that, TCU, we had got the Rose Bowl, we raised our level, and then you ended up going from there, getting in the Mountain West, and then we got the Big 12, and Baylor wanted to get there, and I think you couldn't do it with that they're out there being a little bit, and I hate to use the word hatred. I mean, I'm saying, just the one having what one didn't have, and then you just kind of kept pushing every year. You just had to keep doing what you needed to do to get to the top of the mountain. And so I think, if you talk to fans, it was because it was so close, it was probably one of the more enjoying times in college football for TCU and Baylor because they're so close, and you could have this, even I would say a festive hatred toward each other when they played, when it came to the fans and everybody, because you knew you were gonna see great. You wasn't gonna be, when you played, it wasn't gonna be bad football. You're gonna see some spectacular plays on both sides of the ball, and it was gonna come down probably to a one score ball game because they were always really close. And so, and it really didn't. Through that 4 or 5 years, it didn't. That was kind of the way it was. Even if one team was considered a lot better than the other at the time on that season.
You really should run for something, because the minute I start trying to pin you down on Art, you went a whole different direction on me. Yeah.
So there was a guy I saw a rep, and so he's trying to get me. He was asking me questions. He's deposing me, isn't that the word depose?
Yeah.
So he asked me this question about 9 different ways to try to get an answer a certain way. Don't you know that we're in a pro market? I've stood in front of 30 cameras.
Yeah.
Every Saturday.
Yeah.
This is not my first rodeo.
Yeah. After watching Baylor on defense, what do you see going on with this team? And do you see the makings of a decent defense? Because they're 4-2. It's not like it's the end of the world. They're still in it, but they have not been able to fix it all season. What's standing out to you when you watch this Baylor defense?
Well, number one, just as a team, you got to give them some credit because they've won some games in the last minute, a couple of them. They came back against SMU. And so, kick field goals. I think the key that I like about Baylor team is they really play hard, and they're still playing hard in the fourth quarter. I think they are a team, people commit, but I think if you want to talk positive, I think their offense the last 2 years has been really, really well. And he's done a great job with it. They've got people that make plays at the wide receiver, running back, and obviously, what's the guy's name? Teague, the tight end.
Oh, Trigg.
I mean, you got a guy that's probably right up there, maybe one of the best tight ends in the nation. So, quarterback that's getting the ball to him, can run around a little bit. Defensively, I think they've been a little bit snake bit. I mean, you have a guy was there, started one of the games. The guy was there on the first play of the game on a post, and he's right there, and he tips. Hand goes up, he just misses the ball, and they catch it.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows. Yep. I mean, I think the best thing that can happen to them is they just gain some confidence and get ready to play. It hurt them to lose the one young linebacker that I think was really coming on, that they felt like was a leader for them.
Yeah.
And, they're back home playing at home. So it's, I mean, well, no, they come down here. They come.
Yeah, yeah.
Haven't they really on the road? They've played better on the road since in all their games here in the last couple of years. So,
yeah.
And often, you go to TCU, and I think the biggest thing, the same thing. And if you ask me, I do is it's going to be both offenses have great skill players. It really comes down to which defense is going to make plays, who's going to get takeaways, and who's going to make the final stops. I think that's the way this game will be on Saturday. It's who can actually take away the better players on both teams on offense, and even though they both throw the ball and TCU hasn't really run the ball that well, but they both have good running backs, and you can't let the quarterback move all over the place where he gets a chance to buy himself time and make plays, and that's what the TCU guys done, and that's what the Baylor quarterbacks done. They both have, but haven't been around, and they both have good people on their team. I think that's one thing I like about both teams. They have good people as far as players. The kids are good people. Not everywhere do you have good teams and they're good people, but I think they have good people on their teams. And you usually don't fight back like Baylor had unless you have good people on their teams, which says a lot about playing for Dave. And really offensively, they don't seem to panic. They don't feel like they're ever out of the game, and they've come back and they've scored points. So I expect a shootout, and then whichever defense can make the other team reload somewhere in there and make them miss a couple turns is going to be the team that's got a chance of winning it.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform.
At your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
Marcus Gray at Ascension Providence. I think when the general public still thinks of AI, the first thing they probably think of is generative, a chat GPT. But in the medical field, AI really does represent one of the coolest new technologies in a really long time.
AI stands to radically transform how we deliver healthcare. They've got algorithms that help doctors spot stealthy tumors, that speed up our scans, and just improve efficiency and diagnostic accuracy. Ascension Providence was the first facility in the Waco area to outfit all of our MRI scanners with AI technology. What used to be a 45-minute elbow scan or a 35-minute knee scan, it cut that to a 10-minute set of pictures that, again, are actually better images than what we used to be able to produce.
What else is Ascension Providence doing with this technology?
It also allows us to fulfill a need locally for Alzheimer's testing. Providence is the only facility in Waco that now offers PET CT scans of the brain to look for evidence of Alzheimer's disease. So now that we can perform the diagnostic testing for Alzheimer's, we're also moving to offer infusion treatment for people that have early symptomatic Alzheimer's disease. And the literature shows that people that get diagnosed early have a 35% chance of significantly slowing down disease progression.
Well, Marcus, you probably didn't even realize that. I've lost 2 grandparents to Alzheimer's. That is very personal for me. Thank you guys for doing that. And wow, what a good thing for families in Central Texas. How can anyone who's got questions about imaging, anything else you've talked about today, anybody that might want to get one of these scans done, how can they reach out and get in touch?
Yeah, thank you. You can reach us at 254-751-4250 for all of your radiology scheduling needs. You can reach me at 254-751-4040 with any questions that you have.
It's football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game, poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
Green and Gold Game Day Show. Welcome back in. Thanks for listening to our Gary Patterson knowledge. I know Matt enjoys him a lot. You do. Y'all are good friends.
I do. And we had some rough moments over the years, and he may have blocked me at one point.
Oh my
so
goodness.
It is crazy that somehow we came out on the other side of it, and it was fun. It was fun to visit with him. He can talk. He's got more time on his hands now, but he does a lot of cool things around Fort Worth. In fact, just opened another food pantry. There's a bunch around Tarrant County and Fort Worth, and he does a lot with the singer-songwriter Leon Bridges.
Oh, very nice.
And so that's a really cool thing and he's a singer-songwriter himself. So it's freed him up to work on his music. Although I think he's kind of inspired by what Coach Signetti is doing at Indiana, because he's about Gary's age. So who knows? But man, it's fun being out here with KWTX and Rogue Media Network.
Absolutely. I want to thank Ascension Providence as well.
Yes.
I am Faith Lynch, Matt Mosley next to me, 365 Sports Green and Gold Game Day Show on KWTX. This has been fun to start our morning with y'all. Thanks for tuning in. As always, we are coming from the Log Cabin Village in Fort Worth. I'm out here killing spiders with lip gloss off to the side. But
It's so brave. Such a brave moment for you.
Not all heroes wear capes. Isn't that the saying?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
I think so.
Is that it?
I think so.
Well, we have Big 12 wraparound. Pete Souza will not be joining us this morning, but Matt and I are going to talk about some of the games going on this weekend, what's going on in the Big 12, how everyone's starting to fizzle out or come to the top as we get closer to postseason. But I think Corey is going to bring us some pie.
Oh, wow.
Which, I mean, what a treat.
This is
He has pie from the Buttermilk Sky Pie Shop.
Corey, say hi. Corey Dickman, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness.
Wow, look at those.
Buttermilk Sky Pies in Colleyville, Texas, right down the road.
Wow. Oh.
I think that's chocolate, maybe.
I love me a good chocolate pie.
Some of these. This looks like,
Corey, where's the chocolate?
Oh, yum. They just keep coming.
And they've drizzled some chocolate on top of whatever that is.
Wow.
Okay.
Coconut cream.
Oh, goodness.
Oh, my.
We
Can I take this into the press box? This is going to be odd
It's your snack.
when I show up with
That's
this.
a good idea.
Oh, Faith, and here's your fork.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you to our new sponsor, Buttermilk Sky Pie, and Corey, the owner, founder of Rogue Media Network. Look at him over there. He's doing great work today.
Beautiful.
And in fact, we've taken this operation on the road at the log cabin. It's really cool to be able to work remotely. We got this beautiful SAT truck, whatever you call these things, but it's really fun to be able to pull this off. And I like the Buttermilk Sky. Look at the logo right next to me there.
Very nice.
I think probably what they'd like me to do is to have a bite on. Yeah,
Which
I
one
know,
are you? Let's not try the same one.
I want the chocolate,
Okay.
whichever, but I don't know.
I'll do this meringue top looking one. This looks like something I would hopefully like.
Get in there.
We just took this show to a whole new level.
That's right.
People are going to see me eat on camera.
Sure.
Is that appropriate?
What level? No.
No.
Yeah,
oh,
we'll get
this looks like it's coconut. Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Okay, here we go.
Very nice.
I kind of liked it.
Okay. Can we get a non-solo shot of Faith? Oh, good.
Come in tight. Let's go with a tight shot here. All right, this has a great texture to it, and this is the cream chocolate pie. Now, no, somebody find me. Okay, I know Faith is more pleasant to look at, but come back here. Okay, here we go. I'm going to just walk you through it, and fortunately we have some napkins arriving. Oh, man, everybody at about 10 a.m. should start their day with some cream pie. Now, that's the chocolate. And, boy, there used to be this place called Highland Park Cafeteria. where they had the most unbelievable, back in the day, Faith, we went to cafeterias, all right?
What is
they
that?
had Furs and Luby's and all these fun places.
Oh, I went to Luby's. Don't you worry.
You barely.
I had the Jello at Luby's. Once you've
There's
had the Jello
nothing
at
wrong with
Luby's,
that.
there's
I skipped that little salad section.
This is great.
But this is nice.
This is very nice. I mean, so many options.
Buttermilk Sky has just taken over the show. So, yeah, all right.
Very nice.
All right, that is nice. And I'll continue. I'm not going to continue. Yeah, I need you to keep talking so I can eat more of this. But no, it is. And we're going to talk about, we are going to talk about the gunslingers here in a minute because this matchup they've decided to stay with you eating.
So
yes,
good.
that's much more mesmerizing to the audience to watch.
I don't know how I feel about that
to
one.
watch Faith. Yes, take down. What did you? Is that what was that? A coconut? Yeah.
But it's like thick, like custard. And
Yeah.
It's very good with a cup of coffee. You love a good cup of coffee.
Ooh, yeah. I wish I could find one right now. I'll tell you this: the log cabin village where we are, we're appreciative of them. They're in their sort of old timey throwback garb. This makes me feel like I'm back at Old Town Williamsburg. I used to like going there and seeing all the history and here. And growing up in the Dallas area, they had Old City Park was a big thing. Over here in Fort Worth, this is the place to be, Log Cabin Village. And so we're very appreciative of them working with us. And also want to thank your friend in the car business, Alan Samuels. Ted Teague is the GM over there, has been for a long time. Ted is a great friend of mine, and they do an incredible job. And those Ram trucks, the 1500, the 2500, they're unbelievable. They ride extremely well. They haul everything. You can pull anything. You know me, Faith. I'm just like, what can I pull today? Is there anything I can just attach to a truck and just pull around Texas? And that's what I like to do. Powerful Ram trucks, adventure-ready Jeeps, and new Dodges. And huge savings and the best selection in Central Texas. They have the ride for you. Alan Samuels, Dodge Chrysler, Jeep Ram in Waco. Come by. Let's be friends. The popular, you remember that one over the years. All right. So I'll get back next break. I'll get back into the pies. But I did want to do something we call our Big 12 wraparound, where we look at some of the games today, some of the big storylines, and I think the Holy War is, and obviously Baylor TCU, that's what we're here, but we'll look around a little bit around the conference right now. And I think BYU, Utah, if you're looking to be, it seems like everybody's handed Tech the title. They've handed them a spot in the Big 12 championship game, and there have been stories written that the Big 12 now goes through Lubbock. I'd like to see them perhaps go to the conference title game for the first time ever, win an outright title for the first time since 1955.
Jeez.
Before we just go crazy over the Red Raiders. I like them. They're good folks. They love a good tortilla. They like to throw things on the field. There was some confrontation, and that was a big story this week. Was they got fined, and then KU did what you can't do. If you're mad at somebody, just be mad. Don't make things up. And so they fabricated a story and said that somebody threw a pocket knife at one of their, that did not pass the smell test to me, because like people throw a lot of things. They don't throw pocket knives. Like they like their pocket knives. They want to keep that in their pocket. And so it didn't make any sense why a Tech, and again, Tech people will do anything if they've had enough, but they don't throw pocket knives. They all respect the pocket knife. And so they got footage of a staff member at Kansas, dropping. It was a plant. It was a knife plant, dropping it and then trying to blame that. So then they got fined $25,000 as well. So that was a mess. I do think, though, in this holy war, Utah and BYU, see, they're kind of like A&M in Texas in the sense that those two wanted to get away from each other. Especially A&M. They were sick of Texas. They were sick of being in University of Texas's shadow, and so they wanted to go do the SEC. Well, lo and behold, however many years later, here comes Texas. We're not going to let you have it. Utah and BYU had a similar relationship. They don't it's been a great rivalry, but they kind of got sick of each other. And so I think when BYU went off to the Big 12, Utah was like, que sera, like, we don't care. Y'all go on, do your thing. We're not going to miss you that much. And lo and behold, Utah had to come into the Big 12. So now the two of them are back together, forced to play. Generally, a lot of times, the coach at one place will have gone to the other school, kind of like this Baylor TCU thing. There's a lot of crossover in it. And the winner of that, especially if it's BYU will stay there with Tech, on a crash course to be the other team in the Big 12 title game. Now, I think Baylor fans are probably wondering, what do you want in some of these games? Well, you want the team that you want chaos, right?
Yeah.
I'm not one of these people who's like, let's have as many undefeated teams as we can. Let's root for the best of the conference. No, you need to root for Baylor. And so for Baylor, BYU loss is fine. Get them to one loss.
Yeah.
Utah already has the one conference loss. It happened to Texas Tech. You get as many losses, because what that'll happen is, even if Tech runs the table somehow, which I don't know if they will, you could possibly get a 2-loss team to the Big 12 conference game. And I think that will happen. I think that's going to happen, and I think the Bears have a shot.
I agree. I think this game, we're talking about Baylor TCU, also brings some of that to the table of, like, I think both of these teams are very evenly matched. And so Baylor taking care of business this morning, watching the Holy War today, I think it kind of puts Baylor back in this conversation of, hey, we can still make it to the Big 12 championship. I agree of, you don't want to have these 6-0, 7-0 team, whatever. Like, you want to have a bit of variety of, you want to see the Big 12 not beat up on each other, but be competitive.
Yeah.
This is a very competitive, good conference of every game is an opportunity for someone's season to drastically change. So that's what I love watching with the Big 12, and especially with this Holy War, and then everything that's going on with Tech as well.
All right, Tech, we'll keep an eye on that. They're at Arizona State. And, I mean, Arizona State's got a great crowd. They got a great coach. Levitt's been banged up, but I think he's going to play in this game, I believe. We'll get some last-minute injury reports, and we need to look at what's happening with Baylor. I can tell you who won't play, and I think Carl Williams from week to week will not play. Cincinnati and OSU get it on today, and then West Virginia at UCF. Now, I do want to talk about a little bit about this matchup. The gunslinger game we're talking about. I love this graphic. I love seeing Robertson, Sawyer Robertson and Hoover next to each other. I mean, who would have known? You never know about these storylines, because 2 years ago, I don't know if you would have thought, well, these guys are going to be two of the better quarterbacks in the Big 12. It is amazing. The completion percentage of Hoover, he must have mixed in a really rough game in there to be down.
Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform.
At your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
Baylor Nation rolls along with Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Start with award-winning service and factory-trained techs. Then shop our new and used lineup. From cars, trucks, to SUVs, all makes and models. Running a business? We're your Central Texas headquarters for ProMaster vans, cabin chassis, and work trucks. For power and comfort, test drive the Ram 1500, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year winner again. Allen Samuels in Waco, proud partner of Baylor Athletics.
Come by, let's be friends.
Everyone, hello. Guys, welcome back to Dear Sports. I am so pumped to be back in the podcast world and filming season 2 of Dear Sports. On this podcast, you're going to find stories from former and current athletes about their journey through sports and the impact it has made in their life. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow our Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on all things Dear Sports. And we're back. Welcome to the 365 Sports Green and Gold Game Day Show. I am Faith Lynch here with Matt Mosley. We are getting so close to kickoff time, Matt.
Yeah, it's going to happen, and there's no avoiding this at this point. And I'm thinking about just not going over there. I've had so many bad experiences in that stadium.
I don't blame
I'm
you.
thinking about just the last minute turning back or go take it in from Dutch's. I think there's a burger place over there. So I don't know. I'll probably make it over. We have a little precip. We seem to have a little precip. Of course, we're covered.
No.
And we're in a wonderful situation. You want to be near a log cabin when a storm rolls through. And good foundation, good solid foundation. The Log Cabin Village, right here in Fort Worth, Texas, hard by the TCU campus, not far from the famous Fort Worth Zoo. And so pleased. In fact, I'll be taking a little tour, and we'll check that out. Thanks again to my goodness, Buttermilk Sky Pie shop.
You have gained 2 new customers
I
this
thought you were going to say gain some weight. I was going to say that is true, but I didn't know if that was for you to point out right now. Certainly, although if I can wear, you just don't want to wear, tight-fitting things here. It is, we're going to do some Bear Essentials as we get you ready for kickoff. If we could go back for just a second,
Yes. Yeah, I think we should talk about.
I think Scotty would be okay with us. Taking some
little off script
license here. Because I wanted more time on this quarterback matchup. And if you hear the pitter-patter, it is a full-on rain that's
We
that's
are
come
dry,
in.
though, which is so nice. We have a little tent above us.
Yeah.
It came down quick.
We'll be okay. Fortunately, we have, like, the bags, we have the bags the pies came in to put over our cameras and everything. Oh, it's easy for us to laugh. The people that
I know.
Corey, the man who purchased all this.
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you to our crew.
That's right. Our crew's doing yeoman's work. You'll stay in the log cabin. People are abandoning the log cabin and going out into the storm. All right. I think this is going to be just a passing little shower. This is fine. And by the way, this brings up the fact that the elements could affect today's game. Both of these teams, major passing teams. Who throws the best wet football? I was just reminded recently watching that Cowboys Netflix that, boy, Troy Aikman used to really struggle with the wet football. And so which quarterback can throw it best in the rain? I think the cleats, having the proper cleats will help. And if memory serves correct, TCU does have really good grass, but their kind of grass will take on, I think they have the kind of grass that's good on like knees and knee injuries and prevents that, but it can take on a little bit of water. I don't know exactly how well it drains, but it'll be fun. It'll be fun to get over there. And hopefully, again, just maybe a passing shower, and then I'll move on. These two quarterbacks, I mean, I thought it was interesting to hear Dave Aranda this week being asked about does he think Sawyer should be mentioned like in the Heisman? And what is the coach going to say? Sure. Now, is Dave the best guy in the world to be touting his players in a Heisman race? Probably not. Dave's not one to get out there and market and things like that, although he did a Dallas area radio show.
Oh.
We have a little trouble getting him on around here, but he went on a major radio show in Dallas this week, so maybe he's doing more, and maybe he's trying to get out there and push the program a little bit more, so that's good. But both Hoover and Robertson, two different guys. Now Robertson is more athletic and faster, although he never runs. This year, for whatever reason, they don't run him. I think it would help they had a 2-point conversion recently, and he ran. And I think it would really surprise TCU because he hasn't done it all season if they used his legs. Hoover is not that fast, but will run when forced to. So the Bears, I mean, the way they've defended the quarterback, Faith, they really need to always come into a game with at least some spy responsibilities. They need to have some player that at times, it doesn't have to be the same player, but it's dedicated to watch the quarterback because this has been a huge problem for the Bears. But both these quarterbacks right around 1,000 yards on the season, right around the same, around 10 touchdowns. Now, Hoover both these guys will turn it over. And I would say the thing Sawyer has to guard against is he gets loose too many times in his young career. Well, he's about to end. I shouldn't say young career. But near the red zone, like, this is going to be an extremely important game to take care of the ball, especially in your own red zone, inside your own 20. When you're in the opponent's red zone, you've got to convert. And this may be a day. I mean, again, depending on what the weather does, Dave Aranda might have to settle for a field goal at some point. But what you need is not a bunch of stops. You need 2 or 3 stops a half. The Baylor defense, and as Sawyer, this is not a fun way, and I'm sure it's fun for the players, but it's a lot of pressure on the quarterback. They really need to score every drive.
Oh, absolutely. And I think both of these teams are almost looking into a mirror, too, of like, we do a lot of the similar things. Defense has looked very similar for both of them throughout the season of not maybe being as consistent as both teams would want them to. And so, you just mentioned it for the offensive side, but I think for the defensive side of you need 1 or 2 players to be consistent. I think those guys are Jacob Redding, and then looks like Devin Turner is going to be out for this game. But Jacob Redding, I think, is going to bring a big spark of maybe he can be that guy defensively to make some of those plays and give Sawyer some time to relax and do his thing.
Yeah, and we'll check that poll here in a second. Yeah,
Let's do it. All right.
Love to take a peek.
Oh,
there we go.
What will the results of the rivalry game be?
Revivalry.
What's the difference on that? Do you know?
Because, like, revival is a religious thing.
Oh,
yeah.
Very good.
And so
I like
these
that.
are 2 religious schools.
Okay, so like Holy War, but the revival.
Faith, are you too young to have had revivals at your
hey,
church?
Blue Bonnet.
Did you guys not have revivals?
Blue Bonnet Battle was when I was in school.
Visiting pastor, and you'd stay there for 5 days, and you had to go to church every night for a whole week. That's
a revival. Okay,
yeah.
sorry,
That's okay.
I didn't have the Bible lens on that one, but TCU close win is what the people are predicting. I don't love it. I would love to see a Baylor win close. I think that's what it's going to be. I do think it's going to be a close game.
Yeah. Okay.
Matt?
Yeah. No, I think Baylor wins close. It is the Green and Gold Game Day show, doing our thing from the Log Cabin Village, and it's time for us to give our predictions. We'll do that next on KWTX.
It's football season, and we can create your outdoor tailgating spaces that is actually a part of your home. Bifold doors that tie in the inside and the outside, and you can gain anywhere from 1,000 to 5,000 square feet living space, all while taking in the big game poolside. Call us at Gather & Co. Kitchen and Bath, where we can create your unique tailgating space.
If you want the best for your body, you want Ascension Providence, the largest sports and orthopedics group in Central Texas. Using innovative and cutting-edge technology, we're able to understand your body better than ever, delivering treatment with precision. And with our fellowship-trained and board-certified doctors, you'll receive excellent care. Work with a team dedicated to your health, wellness, and safety.
So you can perform
at your best.
Ascension Providence, caring for Texas families for over 120 years.
Baylor Nation rolls along with Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Start with award-winning service and factory-trained techs. Then shop our new and used lineup. From cars, trucks, to SUVs, all makes and models. Running a business? We're your Central Texas headquarters for ProMaster vans, cabin chassis, and work trucks. For power and comfort, test drive the Ram 1500, the Motor Trend Truck of the Year winner again. Allen Samuels in Waco, proud partner of Baylor Athletics.
Come by, let's be friends.
Everyone, hello. Guys, welcome back to Deer Sports. I am so pumped to be back in the podcast world and filming season 2 of Deer Sports. On this podcast, you're going to find stories from former and current athletes about their journey through sports and the impact it has made in their life. Make sure to subscribe on YouTube and follow our Instagram and Twitter to stay updated on all things Deer Sports. We are 2 minutes away from wrapping up our show today, but just want to thank KWTX and staying with us this morning. Matt and I both have had so much fun this morning between pies, watching a rainstorm happen, the wilderness that we're in this morning. It's been a good change of pace, I think, for both of us to join with our sponsors, talk about some football, get ready for this game, and kind of talk about what we think our predictions are before we wrap up with y'all on KWTX this morning.
Yeah, it has flown by, and we are thankful for KWTX and the log cabin village here. As Faith, we learn why she likes indoor sports. I mean, the tiniest little fly can throw her off and almost have her diving off camera. And so, anyway, let's give our predictions for the game. I was thinking 38-35. I'm going to go even higher. I think this thing's going to get completely out of control. Bears win. Well, it's raining, though, now. No, I think it's 31-28. I am going to change a little bit. I'm going to move it down a little bit. It's going to be a lot of fun. There'll be a few stops. Bears get a big takeaway. Bears win 31-28.
I like it. I'll have Bears win 27-14. Let's just throw out a number. I don't know. I think with the weather, maybe some changes. We'll see what happens. But I do think Baylor is going to pull out a win. I think it's going to be good. But thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. We've had so much fun. Sick on Bears from both of us. I know Matt loves to get big sick on Bears at the end of the show.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Thank you from KWTX. We will see you next week.